Okay, 7th graders, today our central question is, can you find the surface area of a composite solid? And in this first picture, we're looking at some sort of castle, and they're asking us to name the 4 basic solids in this composite figure. So if we just look at the rooftop of the castle, that would be a pyramid with either a square or rectangle base. We don't really know. This piece is going to be a cone, making this piece a cylinder, and this is either a square prism or a rectangular prism. We'll just call it a prism. So there are 4 main parts to this particular composite solid. Now, to find the surface area of the castle, we're going to have to find the surface of every single face. So if we have our surface area of our front, let's say, of our prism, we can see that that's 60 times 36. Which is 2,160. And it's going to be exactly the same on the back. So we can go ahead and put that. The sides, to find the sides we have to look down here. Now we can see that it is a square, so it's 36 on all 4 sides. So that makes it 2160 on all 4 sides of the square prism of the castle. The pyramid section, we can see that this is 36, this is 24. So we're going to have 4 triangles that are all the same. And they're 36 times 24 divided by 2, which gives us 432. And we have 432 4 times, because we have 4 triangles on our pyramid. We don't have to worry about the bottom of the pyramid because it's not a surface. We can't find it. On the cone section, we have a slant height of 18. And then we have a radius. We don't know the radius. We know the diameter of 16. So we have a radius of 8. So if we know the slant height is 18, we know the radius is 8. You'll remember that to find the surface area of a cone, we find the area of the circle, which we don't need here because that's the top of the cylinder. And we just do pi times radius times slant height. So 3.14 times 8 times 18. And we get 452.16. And the last thing we have to find is just the outer rectangle part of the cylinder. So forget about the circles, but we do need to find the rectangle part. So we have 60 times the circumference of this would be 3.14 times 16. So 60 times 3.14 times 16. We get 3014.4. And if I add all of these up, I think I got all the surfaces. I got 13,834.56, and this is inches squared. Okay, so when we have a composite solid, we're still just finding the surface area of every piece and adding it together, just the same as when we had any other type of 3D figure. The definition of a composite solid is a figure made up of more than one solid. Alright, identify the solids that form the composite solid, then find the surface area and round your answer to the nearest tenth. So on number 1, we have a cylinder on top of a rectangular prism. So our surface area, in this case we're going to find the bottom just because we can pick it up and touch it. On the house, or the castle one, we couldn't pick it up, so we wouldn't find the bottom because it's touching the grass. So on the lotion bottle we have the 4 surfaces here. The bottom, the top minus that little circle, but the circle would be added on right here, and then we have the rectangle part of the cylinder. So we have a cylinder and a prism. And to find the surface area, I'll do the bottom first. 7 times 5 is 35. 5 times 14 is 70, and I have another 70 on the other side. 7 times 14 is 98, and I have another 98. So that gives me the whole, all 4 sides and the bottom. The top, of course, is going to be another 35. And so if I take out that little circle and then add on this little circle, that fills in the rest of that 35. So if we leave 35, the only other thing we have left to find is the rectangle part of our cylinder. And we find that by doing 3.14 times the diameter, which is 2, times the height, which is 4. And we get 25.12. And when we add them all together, we get 431.12 centimeters squared for our surface area. On the next one we have a crayon. So we have a cone and a cylinder. And to find the surface area of each one, we don't have to find the bottom of the cone. We just have to find the lateral surface of the cone, or the pointy part. So we do 3.14 times the radius, which I'm going to go with 10 is the radius, and 20 is the slant height. And I get 628. And then for our cylinder, we have this one circle at the bottom, so I have to do 3.14 times radius squared, which gives us 314. And then I have to do the lateral surface, or the rectangle part of the cylinder, which would be 3.14 times diameter, which is 20, times the height, which is 100, and I get 6,280. So when I add those all up, I get 7,222 millimeters squared. Alright, let's take a look at number 3. On number 3 we have a prism and a pyramid. And we're going to find each surface and add them together. So the bottom is 4 by 4, which is 16. All 4 of the sides are 4 by 8. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 32s. And then all 4 of these triangles are going to be the same. They're 4 times 2 divided by 2, which is 4, 4, 4, and 4. So when I add those all up, I get 160 feet squared. Alright, so for homework, I want you to try the two triangular pyramids, I'm sorry, and then the surface area of the block with the cylinder. So try those two for homework and have a great night.